Yeah, and so the headline for the Fraser Valley real estate statistics is that the Fraser Valley sales dipped below 10-year average for first time in nearly 2 years. And property sales in the Fraser Valley decreased by over 35% in April compared to the previous month. And while the figure is still the sixth highest April on record for the past 10 years anyways, it marks the first time monthly sales have fallen below the 10-year average since June of 2020. In April, the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board processed 1,637 sales on its MLS system, and that's a decrease of 45.7% compared to April of last year and a 36.6% decrease compared to March. This is a statement from Sandra Benz, our new real estate president at the board. We would typically see a flurry of activity around this time of year, she says, and however, that's not been the case so far. While it's still too early to say whether this trend will endure, the slowing of sales combined with an increase in active listings is helping to restore a semblance of balance to the market, which is encouraging for home buyers. Last month, the board received new listings, and it was a decrease of 27.8% compared to April of last year and a decrease of 20.9% compared to March of 2022. So the total month-end active inventory in April was 14.6% higher than in March, which means listings are staying on longer, taking longer to sell. Prices have come down for certain areas of the Fraser Valley. Other municipalities of the Fraser Valley, they've actually gone up a little bit. So with that in mind, now across the Fraser Valley, I'm going to mention how many days on market it's taking to sell a detached home, which is 16. Townhouse is 13 days, and an apartment is taking on average 13 days to sell. And the single-family detached home for overall the Fraser Valley for the benchmark price currently is $1,731,000. That's an increase of 0.2% compared to March and an increase of 33.8% still from last year. So still overall doing better than last year, but just month over month. Now that's overall, I said, 0.2% increase, but for certain areas like Abbotsford and Micheles, it's actually gone down. Townhouses, though, overall, $902,500 for benchmark price. That's an increase of 1.8% compared to March of 2022 and an increase of 38.3% compared to April of 2021. Apartments are at $649,500, and that's an increase of 1% compared to March of 2022 and an increase of 35.6% compared to April of 2021. So now going into municipality by municipality. Abbotsford, we're going to start there. Detached homes, the benchmark price currently is $1,511,200, and that's still an increase of 35.3% from last year, but it has gone down second month in a row, this time by 0.7%. However, the strata is doing pretty good overall throughout the Fraser Valley. For townhouses in Abbotsford, the benchmark price for that is $763,300, an increase from last month at 4.3%, and the increase of last year overall of 41.2%. Apartments in Abbotsford, $527,100. That's an increase of 45.3% from last year, and an increase of 0.7% from the month before. Now, Mission detached benchmark prices are at $1,252,500. That went down 2.5% from last month, so second month in a row it's gone down. And that's an increase, though, overall still from last year of 38.7%. And I want to note right now that Abbotsford and detached, the average prices from last month, it's actually gone down 10.8%. I speak of benchmark price, which is 0.7%, but you can see the average has actually gone down a lot more. And in Mission, it's actually gone down, average price is 5.1%, where the benchmark price was minus 2.5%. So moving on to townhouses. So Strata and Mission, they are at $759,600. That's an increase month over month of 9.7%, which is pretty good. And overall, year over year, 42.6%. Apartments in Mission are at $533,500. That's an increase overall for the year of 36%. And month over month, it's gone up 6.4%. And White Rock, so so South Surrey included there. Benchmark prices for detached homes have gone up 27.5% from last year, and month over month up 1.4%, and they're at $2,147,000. Townhouses in White Rock, South Surrey are at $1,058,400. That's an increase year over year of 33.6%, and a decrease month over month of 0.3%. Apartments in White Rock, South Surrey are at $713,300, an increase of 28.8% from last year, an increase month over month of 1.5%. Langley benchmark detached prices at $1,785,000. That's an increase of 32.7% from last year and an increase of 0.9% from the month before. And townhouses are at $914,200, an increase from last year of 38.2% and an increase of 4.2% from the month before. And apartments at $599,600, an increase of 34.1% from last year, and nothing happened month over month, just zero. And Delta North, the detached benchmark price is at $1,584,100 at 31.2% increase from last year, but minus 0.1% from the month before. And townhouses, $903,000, that's an increase of 37.8% from last year and an increase of 0.1% from the month before. And apartments at $544,000, increase of 34.6% from last year and an increase of 1.3% from the month before. And last but not least, City of Surrey overall combined benchmark prices for detached at $1,868,400, an increase of 33.8% from last year and an increase of 0.9% from the month before. Townhouses at $938,000, an increase from last year of 37.7% and an increase from the month before of 0.3%, and apartments at $587,500, an increase of 34% from last year and an increase of 1.3% from the month before. And that is our real estate stats for the Fraser Valley, beautiful British Columbia.
All right, Michele, take a breath. Have a sip of water. Man, you rattled those off. I mean, I felt like I was at an auction sometimes.
I'm getting practice for the auction I'm having at this fabulous new listing, which is coming up. It'll be about 4 weeks from now. And it's this amazing, gorgeous heritage home that's completely renovated with amazing views and private yard, a triple detached garage with a carriage house on top. It's just so fabulous, and no money has been spared. And this property is so wonderful. Have to go on my website to check out the video and drone video, find out about the cinematography, walk through the floor plan, the auction that we're going to have on it. It's amazing.
Very, very cool. That's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure, if you get to play auctioneer.
Oh, yeah.
No, I was going to ask you, actually, because I have noticed it seems, as I'm driving around the valley the last week or so, that it seems like inventory is coming up. A lot of houses seem to be going up for sale now.
Yes, more signs are going up. More signs are staying up. Yeah, you're correct. Way more listings than ever before. So buyers have it a little easier now, which is a nice fresh air, right?
Right. All right. Okay, well, people might want to see some of your listings, like you just mentioned. You gave a tease on the one you're doing the auction for, and some other places, plus all the stats you've just listed off. I would imagine there's a one-stop shop where people can go to get all this information.
Always and forever, it's MichelleCummins.ca.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this.